She thought she met the love of her life. He was charming, attentive, intoxicating. But love shouldn't feel like walking on broken glass. At first, it was flowers and soft promises. Then came the corrections. Then came the silence. Then came control. She couldn't breathe without wondering, what version of him will I get today? This isn't love. This is narcissistic abuse. And Zara's story might feel hauntingly familiar. He called her different, said no one ever understood him like she did. He texted constantly, good mornings, good nights, midday check-ins. She felt adored, seen, chosen. He brought her flowers just because. Told her she was beautiful when she cried. They had deep 2 a.m. talks about childhood wounds. She thought this was intimacy, but it was inventory. He studied her needs, only to later use them. He mirrored her passions, agreed with everything, laughed at all her jokes, told her he never felt this way before. The chemistry was electric. Her friends said they looked perfect together. Her gut whispered, it's too fast. But the fairy tale was louder. He said, you're not like the others. She believed him. He rushed commitment. Said, why wait if it's real? She called it fate. He called it love. But in truth, it was grooming, wrapped in roses. It started with a sigh when she wore red lipstick. He said, you don't need all that to be beautiful. She wiped it off. He joked about her male friends. Said he didn't mind, but his tone shifted whenever they messaged. He needed her location for safety. She gave it willingly. He called her during girls' night just to hear her voice. She thought it was sweet. He interrupted her stories to correct details. Made fun of her favorite show. Criticized her laugh. Too loud, too much. She started to shrink. He forgot her accomplishments. Talked over her in group settings. Said she was too sensitive when she brought it up. She apologized. Again, he said he was just being honest. He knew what was best. She stopped wearing that yellow dress he hated. Stopped posting selfies. He said validation was a red flag. Soon, her world was smaller, quieter, but she called it compromise. He called it maturity, but it was control dressed as care. Some days, he adored her. Other days, he disappeared. She never knew what she'd get. Affection became a reward. Withdrawn love became punishment. He stopped texting like before. Said she was needy. She apologized. Again, he rolled his eyes at her tears. Said she was being dramatic. She cried quietly after that. She tried harder, cooked his favorite meals, agreed with more, smiled wider, but the warmth didn't return. He was cold, calculated. Then, suddenly, gifts, affection, passion, back again, just when she was about to leave. It was a cycle. She called it confusion. It was conditioning. Her moods depended on his tone. Her peace was rented, never owned. He said she was lucky to have him. She believed it. She felt crazy, but couldn't explain why. This wasn't love. This was manipulation, and it was working. He accused her of being selfish. He was cheating, but blamed her for flirting. He gaslight every suspicion, called her insecure, said, you're paranoid. She found texts on his phone. He said she was invading privacy. Every argument flipped back on her. She couldn't win. If she cried, she was unstable. If she spoke calmly, she was cold. He said she never made him feel safe, but she was the one walking on eggshells. He brought up old fights, twisted them, made her question her memory, said she was impossible to love, that she ruined everything. She started to believe it. He played victim flawlessly. Friends saw his charm. She saw his cruelty. Alone, he told her family she was difficult, painted himself as a saint. She began journaling to track her own reality because he made her doubt it. It wasn't conflict. It was a courtroom where he was a judge, jury, and executioner, and she was always on trial. She looked in the mirror and didn't recognize herself. She laughed less, dreamed less, spoke less. She had become a version of herself, edited by him. He said, you've changed. And he was right. She changed to survive him. One night, after another fight, she sat on the floor and asked herself, is this what love feels like? She couldn't answer. The silence was louder than ever. She didn't tell her friends everything. She protected his image. She wore her wounds like invisible ink, but they were there. He said she was too much, then not enough, back and forth, until she cracked. Her anxiety was chronic, her joy extinct. This wasn't a relationship. It was psychological erosion. And she was vanishing inside it. It had to stop, or she would. She spoke to a therapist, shared everything. Her voice trembled, but the therapist didn't flinch. She said, you're not crazy. You're being gaslighted. Zara cried, not from pain, but from recognition. Finally, someone named it. She told her best friend. Heard the words, I believe you. The fog began to lift. She reread her journal entries. Patterns emerged. True, she ignored scream now. She Googled narcissistic abuse. Every symptom was her life. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't broken. She was abused. That sentence changed everything. She began reclaiming pieces of herself, wore that yellow dress again, smiled, even when it hurt. And for the first time in years, she chose herself. She packed a bag. He noticed the charm came back. The pleading, "I'll change." She heard it before. Still, she doubted herself, but she left anyway. Then came the texts, voicemails, guilt-laced messages. He threatened to harm himself, said she abandoned him. She felt responsible. That's the hardest part. Leaving isn't one moment. It's 1,000 painful decisions. He stalked her socials, sent flowers, showed up outside her work. She blocked him, changed her number, but the trauma didn't leave with him. It stayed. She cried for weeks, not for him, for the version of herself she lost. But she didn't go back. Not this time. She missed him, not the abuse, the fake love, the high of validation, the illusion. That's the addiction. She almost texted, typed, deleted, typed again, but she called her therapist instead. They talked about trauma bonding, about how the brain attaches, even the pain. Zara cried, grieved the dream, not the man. Slowly, she built new routines, new friendships, new beliefs. Her worth didn't depend on his approval. Each day, she slept less, trusted herself more, and even when the memories haunted her, she had anchors now. She was not the same woman who once begged for breadcrumbs. She was healing. Loudly, he messaged again. One last try, but she didn't open it. Didn't need to. She knew how the story ended. She blocked him again, this time in her heart. There were no fireworks, no dramatic ending, just peace, a quiet reclaiming. She got back into painting, started laughing again, sang off-key in the car. She was free, not because he let her go, but because she let go of him. The love she craved, she gave it to herself. Finally, if you're watching this and whispering, this feels familiar, don't ignore that whisper. It's your gut. It's your truth. You are not dramatic, not broken, not hard to love. You were just manipulated. And now you're waking up. Write things down. Talk to someone outside it. Say it out loud, because gaslighting dies in truth. Your peace is not a privilege. It's your right. Zara's story isn't rare. It's real. It's yours too. And you deserve to come home to yourself. If Zara's story touched you, if you saw even a glimpse of your past or your present in her, you're not alone, and healing starts with awareness. So don't keep this to yourself. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Push bin if you know someone who needs this. Send it their way. Television, and if you want more deep human stories like this one, hit that subscribe button. Bell, don't forget to tap the bell so you never miss an episode. Because here, we don't just tell stories. We tell the truths no one else dares to speak. See you in the next one. Stay aware, stay empowered.